Puget Sound just to our west. You get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Denver Broncos and the Seattle Seahawks. This is taken near the 13. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
Here we go. 90, Wolf.
They'll run on first down. Griffith. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Hey, Haywood.
To throw on second down. Abrams. That's complete to Jake Butt. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Ball on the 42 as they come up second and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable third down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
To throw on third down, Abrams. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 38-yard line. So from Seahawk territory now, it's first and 10 at the 38. Looking to throw. Abrams got a man open. It's Sutton. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a first and 20. And he'll give it here to his running back. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a third down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. He's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. On third and 2, Abrams. He's got his tight end Fant. And it's a fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. 27 yards there, a first down.
It's a gain of 27 yards.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 47. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. This into the hands of his running back, Ronald Jones. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Willie Henry muscled his way in for the sack. To try again after the sack. Wilson flushed out right. He'll run it. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. The breakdown defensively there as the scramble is going to set him up with a much more manageable third down. They got to get it to the 21 here on third down.
And we got to get to the ball, team.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And he'll find Hall. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. Now Jones trying to run inside, but nothing there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. They'll try again with Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Right there, 56. Don't get nervous.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Ready. And 2 stop. Ready. 55. Right there. Ready.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Abrams. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Meanwhile, here, a run on first down really backfires as he's going to be brought down well behind the line of scrimmage. That's one they certainly wish they had back. A loss of 8.
70, Indy. 55, come on. I got it. Sit up. 55, come on, guys, 55.
To throw on 2nd down, Abrams. And he fires one incomplete. He was trying to find Noah Fant, the tight end, and it'll bring up 3rd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A big play there. His fourth touchdown on the year. And the Broncos have taken the lead. Extra point from McManus is good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. From the 29, Wilson. Forced out to his left. Now he'll square up, and that's caught at the 25. And he is finally out of bounds, but not before taking it down inside the 30.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way, just reached up and pulled it in, had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
And the head coach reaches for the red flag, tosses it down on the field. He wants a challenge here. On first down, Wilson. Got the connection here to Bourne. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Ronald Jones with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead is now 10-7. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do?
And the ball is knocked out. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. Some guys just have a knack for creating turnovers. He's got a little bit of that going. He forced a fumble last week, another one there.
And it just drives teams crazy because they realize that certain guys, as you said, have that knack, and they're trying to keep them away from the action, away from the ball.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bradley Chubb in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Another try after the first down sack. Wilson under pressure again, and down he goes again. Von Miller, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Throwing is Wilson. And unable to connect, incomplete. Well, give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
2nd and 11. This is the tight end fan. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work. And that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
Throwing on first down. Abrams. And the Seahawk defense gets to him and they bring him down. DeForest Buckner able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
23 yards the pickup there.
And the Broncos first down.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7 our score. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. This quarterback now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. Back to throw. Abrams nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Max Crosby, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Looking to throw. Abrams. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. Now it brings up 3rd down. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
But you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is, at the 6-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Well, what's the plan of attack here? Very late 2nd quarter, and look where the ball is.
Yeah, bad spot for you, but the defense has all 3 times.
Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And they'll spot him at the 3-yard line.
Certainly feels like the classic second guess, but let's be honest about it. They had a chance going to halftime with the lead. Why did they take a chance with a throw there? I don't understand that.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. And now this defense has to try to protect that lead going into the locker room. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. From back at the 8 now after the false start. Another try at 1st and goal. This is Samuels. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. They run the counter. Benjamin. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. think about running the ball here, not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear them now. 3rd and goal.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Let him know. Hey, Delta. Mike 55, go. 55.
Back to throw. Abrams. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Broncos have once again taken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Here's Wilson. Hey, right on cue. They set up the screen and complete it. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that rests. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Foyesade Aluakan made the tackle there from his safety position. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun. Abrams. Benjamin's got it. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
Tell you what, partner, you get the football in his hands, just give him a little bit of open space. As we just saw, he can make you pay.
And he wasn't the top option there, but check down turned into 1st down and then some. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. And they give this time to the tailback. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. He'll get 3 of those penalty yards back here, leaving him with a 2nd and 12.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the Seahawks' 37-yard line.
Ready? 60 outlaw. 55, come on. So don't say nothing. Cut. 55.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Abrams. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Abrams. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Max Crosby make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Wilson back into his end zone. It's caught. Smith. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down.
It's a nice completion and a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. To throw is Wilson. And this one complete to Smith. 10 yards and a Seattle 1st down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, and it's 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards and a Seattle 1st down. Wilson now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. Again, Wilson. Complete to Jones. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Wilson from the gun. He'll throw. Escaping. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Von Miller make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Operating from the gun, Abrams nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Max Crosby in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Go, go, go. SOS. Rush in.
From the gun, Abrams. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. DeForest Buckner in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Taking it about the 36. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They'll begin with much more advantageous starting field position than they did on their last drive as they come up here 1st and 10. Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Brings up 3rd down and 7.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
14, got it. 56 to Mike. Hey, 0.
Now it's Wilson. The open man is Smith. It's a gain of 26 as they pick up the 1st down in the process. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. That's a gain of 4 here in the 4th quarter with them leading by 4 on the scoreboard. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. 2nd and 6. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
The Broncos on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 6. Operating from the gun, Abrams looks to throw, fires right side, and that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. This is away, and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. Agreed, that's twice now in this 4th quarter.
As a quarterback, a lot of times you think it's all on you to make plays when you're losing. And here, the play's not there, but he throws it anyway.
Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 23-yard line.
Let's go now. 8, read. I got one. Play it. 55. Get it.
From the gun, Abrams. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 27 yards there, a 1st down. Well, I'm sure he likes his performance a little bit better than last week. He had the 3 interceptions here, none in the 4th quarter, and he's got his guys in front.
Guaranteed he put in a tremendous amount of work this week, but maybe the matchup is just better for him. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. It's almost like those golfers. Certain courses fit their eye, and they like what they see, and other courses, as soon as they tee it up, they know they have no shot. Maybe that's the difference for him. Last week, no. This week, a big yes.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. They'll keep it on the ground. Benjamin. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. On 1st down, it's Samuels. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. On 2nd down, Benjamin. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. They'll keep it on the ground. Benjamin. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with. They have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, hey, yeah, we called him the disruptor. And that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And McManus able to put it through. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. And from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Now, last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to.
And got his man complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. It's a gain of 34. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. It's caught at the 10. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Back to throw. Incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. What a great sequence by this defense so far. They've given him nowhere to go with the football.
And they just have to make it stand up one more time because it appears that they've got their number. Can they not have a slip up here and allow the touchdown?
4th down. Here's Wilson. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute.
The defense was almost too good on that play. They took away all of his targets. The one thing they forgot, to account for him as a runner. And he was able to tuck it and go for the end zone and get it done.
17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. This is caught inside the 15. A huge play there for Denver. 57 yards. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. On the carry, it's Samuels. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2. Now the timeout will be called, so they're in field goal range with 3 seconds left. So this thing rests on the shoulders of Brandon McManus. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. So this thing rests on the shoulders of Brandon McManus. And he missed it. It's no good. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick 6 or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now a first throw here in overtime. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A first down there on a pickup of 25. That last pass puts him over 300 yards now in the game. More importantly, though, big first down here in OT.
And the team around him has a lot of confidence now after picking up that first down. Everyone seems a little more energized. But did I hear you before the game call in and say, this is my quarterback for your fantasy league? Because he just gave you a good stat, didn't he?
He did, and I appreciate it.
Let's go! Let's go!
The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. And a nice run to get him past the original line of scrimmage. A gain of 7. It's 2nd and 8 now.
Ready? Watching you go. 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 Smooth.
To throw on 2nd down. Abrams. And now look at him go. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Still catching our breaths from that electric finish. You get into overtime, that's one thing. It was a great 4 quarters. But then in OT, not only to win it, but to win it on a defensive score. Wow.
Oh, definitely. And I think from now on, we're going to definitely travel someone who can help us because I thought I was going to pass out at the end. Not just getting to the overtime, but the plays in overtime that led to this one, and to finish it on a defensive touchdown, a takeaway that gets into the end zone. I'm not rooting for anyone, but boy, I love to see games finish that way.
So for the Seahawks, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, the difficult season continues as they drop to 1-8. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.